Well, hello, welcome to the channel. It's Dave here, fat lad on a barbecue on a somewhat miserable Sunday afternoon. But you know, it's better miserable than not barbecuing at all. I'm going to try some new stuff today. I'm going to try the alder based lumpwood charcoal that I spoke about in the last video. I'm going to give that a try. And I'm going to do a barbecue on the basis of how everybody barbecues in the summer on a nice day. So today we've got some beef burgers from the shop and we've got some sausages from the shop, and that's basically what it's going to be. How do people barbecue, how to get it right, and I'm going to put the addition of a little bit of flatbread to kind of do sausages and beef burgers in a little bit of a different way. So why don't you join me and let's see where we get. Right, let's start with this stuff. I'm going to be using the Thuros today with my new square starter, just because I can. And before anybody says anything, no, I don't know how to do the whole get it out of the bag by just pulling the string thing. So I use a knife. This is going to be interesting because I haven't seen what this is like up until right now. So we're sharing this together. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Ooh! Well, that's come as a shock. Ladies, leave it. Deary me. Well, let's see what we can do with this then. I wonder whether it'll fit straight across. It's very light, but it's very black, very charcoaly. No, it won't. All right. Try snapping it. Ooh. There we go. It snaps. So, mucky fingers, never mind. Let's chuck a bit more in. Well, this is going to be interesting. Was not expecting lumps like that. Fair enough. Put that out of the way. Deary me. What a mess. Right. We'll have 2 or 3 of the wood wool starters. Chuck them down there. Light them up. Yes, I know it says you only need 1. You don't. Right, put that there. And then we'll let that get started. David is now going to run into the house and scrub his mitts, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with the bread, because I need to get them done and resting while this is getting lit. Back in a bit. I'm back. Right, just looking at this, I presume you can see from yonder big camera up there, this is blazing away rather pleasantly. It's going to be, I think, quite hot. It's lovely and warm. I'm liking it. Not a lot of smoke, as you can see. Look, not a lot of smoke. And we seem to be generating quite a bit of heat. I just hope it burns for long enough. Right, so now, let's just need to flour the board a tad. Can you see? You can. Right. Now, I've cheated a bit and I made me dough about an hour ago. And look, it has risen beautifully. And all I'm going to do is pull some chunks out and stick them on the board in a ball, having got some flour on them first. I should have floured my fingers. Hey God, sometimes I wonder whether I really ought to be allowed out. Now, it's very sticky, this dough. It's made with 180 grams of Greek yogurt, which my wife and I make. And what I'm going to try and do is just flatten this out so that it rolls into something that's about sausage sized. Can you think what I'm going to do yet? Right, roll out, roll out. Not bothered about it being too thin. I just want it rolled out. I'll put the recipe for this on screen now, so you can see how it was made and what the requirements are for proving and stuff like that. It's a single proof, and it's going to have, well, that fell off. It's going to have another 15 minutes just sitting here by itself, basking in the warmth. There we are, that's that bit done. Those of you that do make your own flatbreads and breads will know this can be a right pain in the backside to get sorted out. A little bit flour on that. Shove that on there. Right. They can cover with a cloth, and they'll prove for the next wee while. Meantime, I'll get the rest of this clag off my hands, because it looks as though over here the charcoal is now at cooking stage. So you can see how it looks. That's not bad at all, is it? That can sit there, and we need the grate on, and we need, because I'm going to be cooking at height, the wind deflector on. Right, so wind deflector's on there so that I can pull the grate up onto its various different settings, and there's a reason for doing that, especially if you can manage to do it in a sensible manner. Come on, that's it. Honestly, I sometimes wonder whether I'm, anyway. Right, so I'm going to leave that now to ash over. I would like a nice covering of ash on all of those surfaces, which we'll get in a few minutes, and then we can look at putting the sausages on and we can see how that'll all come together. I need to do something else though, and that is, and I'm going to chop an onion and put it in the frying pan, and that's going to be it. So, frying pan comes out, and it's just going to be on a low heat, and it's not going to be hard to do. So let's get on with that while I can find room to do it. Good, and we'll just let the onions sweat in the ghee for as long as it takes. That's basically all that's going to be happening in there. So that's good. We'll keep coming back and visiting them every so often. But the idea is to sweat them down, not fry them hard. Sweat them just slightly warmer than you would normally sweat, so you can get a bit of caramelisation, which is what we're looking for. Hey, I'm right out the road, and I'm so sorry. Right, where was I? Right, that's better. Come this way, a little bit further. Right, where was I? Yes. So they're on there now. The onions are on in the frying pan. It's just an ordinary frying pan on the little stove. And I'm going to turn that down so it's not roaring away, and they're just going to sweat there, and I'll come back and stir them every so often, and that'll be fine. Right, let's have a look and see how this is doing, and as you can see, we've got good ashing going, so it's time to put the sausages on. Now, one of the major problems with doing sausages on the barbecue in the summer usually is that your charcoal is this far away from your sausage, especially on those portable ones, and you end up with black on the outside, raw in the middle, which is not what we want. What we want is properly cooked all the way through to a temperature, I would say, of around about 75 degrees. I think that's about the safest place to be. So all I'm going to do is just stick 4 sausages on here. In the coolth, the relative coolth of what's going on, and they can sit there just having a listen, because the temperature at the grid is quite warm. I'm going to knock it down actually, just the one, because that'll be better. Right, so they can now sit there, as you can see, and they can fester for a while, and I'm going to give them 2 or 3 minutes, then I'll turn them over, and another 2 or 3 minutes, then I'll turn them over, and another 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll turn them over. And I'll probably do that in speedy uppy, fast forwardy stuff. That's probably the way to go. Meanwhile, turn my ring down a bit. Because my onions have caramelised rather quicker than I'd hoped. And in fact, I might stick the second half in. Why not? Do no harm. I tell you what, Mary Berry's got a lot to answer for. I'm telling you now, this cooking and talking at the same time and looking at the camera while you're doing it isn't easy. Just isn't. It should be, but it isn't. Because there are so many things can cut you. They're not going to kill you, but my God, you can hurt yourself if you're not careful. This is, by the way, this chucking onions on time after time is exactly how the chuck wagons do it, don't you know? Nice and gentle with the onions. They don't need to be going at a million miles an hour. Right, let's turn these sausages. They've had a couple of minutes. Right, so as you can see, it doesn't take long to get much of a brown caramelisation on the sausages, and you don't want them too low. So these are going back up because I want them to cook slowly. Don't want them to go flying through. And I'll stick a couple of burgers on now, and they can go towards the back, I think. Because I haven't made these burgers myself, I'm going to cook them through to slightly more than medium at least. So just stick them on the back. Push the sausages forward a tad. Yes, aren't I brave lad? Here's my fingers. Bring them forward a bit. Come forward. That's it. That's as much of them as we're going to need, so this is going out the way. Start a barbecue channel, he said. It'd be easy, they said. Lying sods. Right, they are now done to the extent that I want them. So, what I'm going to do now, if I can find it, I've got it here, there it is put a warming rack over the top, as you'll just have seen. That can sit there, and the onions can sit on top. And it's time to turn the sausages again. They've done top and bottom, so now let's do the sides. And the onions can just sit there and fester, gently cooking away as they enjoy themselves. And I'll be back in a tick. Right, I'm back now. Onto there, I'm putting the frying pan, and something needs to be getting turned here. That'll be the burgers bleeding. And while we're here, we might as well just give the sausages a quick turn. Lush. They can carry on doing what they're doing. While they're doing, I could really do with a bit more ventilation in here. We've got smoke now. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Just a sec. Right, I've opened up the back window, the far end, because we're starting to get a bit of smoke going on here. More than I want. I've opened the other side now. That's fine. And we're doing well. And I can see from over here that the bread is starting to prove. So let's get the first one on, if we can. The idea, David, come on, get it off, separate. Oh yeah, it's not going to separate, is it? Yes it is. How stretchy is that? Right. Yes, that's not quite gone according to plan, but that's fine. It'll fold, it'll chuck in. We'll just let that one go as is. This is the sacrificial one. That'll give me time to separate the other one. Bugger it. Roll it out again. And the idea with these flatbreads is to turn them over when they start showing bubbles, which that one hasn't yet. What we have here is far too much flaming heat, but the burgers are getting a nice crust. Right, how we doing? Let's turn it. Nice and gold on there. So let's see what temperature these are at. Internal temperature of 75. Right. The sausages are cooked. So I'm going to lift the sausages up onto the top because they're cooked. Even that one. And the burgers, let's see where they're at. Where's me? Let's have a look. 38, 45, 6, 7, 9, 50, 50.4, 50.9. They can carry on for a little while. Meantime, the bread could be done a little bit longer, that one. I think chuck that one out and put the one in that we're going to use. That's much the best bet. This is live as it happens, people. Live as it happens. So there's that in. Whew. Let's chuck that a bit further under. Because you know what's going to happen, I'm going to end up chucking the pan on there because I'm running out of gas, I think. No, that's running, it's alright. Now, you might be able to say, I hope you can't, that there's bubbles just starting. So, flip it straight over. And I know it looks underdone, bear with me, you'll see what happens. Now, you should be able to see this is starting to puff up as a whole. And that's what's supposed to happen. Right, let's have a look and see how these burgers are doing. Get a temperature on them. And we're at, if we get these up to 60, 65, I'll be happy. Nearly there. Another couple of minutes and the burgers will be right. And you can see here that the bread is doing quite nicely. I would prefer this pan hotter, but never mind. Hey, the smoke. There's barely a draft of wind now. And it's these burgers that are causing the smoke. Fat dropping off them at a hell of a rate of knots. And in fact, I'm going to say they're done. So now, what I'm going to do is drop the grid down to the bottom, like that. And I'm going to transfer the pan over to there so you can see what's happening underneath. Meantime, and there we go, we're starting to get some good rise on it now, which I really rather like the idea of. And you see it pluffing up? I certainly hope so. It's great fun, this. Quick flick. And we'll put the next one in just a sec. Get the plate across. I'm just going to give this piece a try just to see what it's like. It's a bit doughy still, but that'll eat. This is the one I want, and you can see it's puffing up. Hello, Mrs. Dawn, do come in. You take a pew over there. My wife's just joined me, and you can see now, I hope, that the bread has puffed up nicely. So stick this one in, shove it back there. I'm just going to move you around so you can see what I'm doing over here. Back up a bit, that's it. Right in the middle. Right, now, the idea behind this, because this puffs up a bit like a pitta, you can, oh that's hot, you can open it up, you can get your sausage, and you can slide your sausage in. That's the idea, if I can just get it right the way through. The stupid part about it is these have been opening up ridiculously. Aha, that's hot. Right, Mrs. Dawn, I take it you do want me to slide the sausage in? Yes? Would you like a few onions and some mayonnaise?
Of course. Yeah.
Of course, right, lovely. A few onions. They will slide into the pocket, like that. And we need to be turning. Ah, we've just got bubbles, can you see? Let's turn that. Lovely. Gob of mayonnaise, as one does, into the pocket. And that will now, are we on camera? That will now roll and becomes, there you are, look at that. It's a cross between a hot dog and a sausage roll. Do you mind if I have the first bite? Or would you like to have the first bite?
No, I don't think so.
Or would you like me to half it?
No.
No.
Just...
So there you are. Look, that's how it works out. And this has been, I filmed this in real time, but I'm probably going to edit it. How's my bread doing? It's all right. Let's have a go at the sausage and see what it's like. Wow. There you are, Mrs. Dawn. She's sitting off camera saying you've got a good big gob of stuff. I know. Has it gone now?
More or less.
What a beautiful way to eat a sausage at a barbecue. Now, this recipe for this bread, I think it's called Baslam flatbread. It's very nice. It is beautiful. And I'm just looking at my darling wife's face. Are you enjoying that? Mm-hmm. She is. And it's dead easy. Keeps your hands clean. Keeps the kids' hands clean. What's not to like? So while Mrs. Dawn has that, I'm going to tip it out, as you do. And I'm going to put a burger on the other one, just to try. But what I'm going to do with the burger is cut it down the middle. You'll see why. And I'm doing this for a number of reasons. Come through, that's it. One, to check its cookedness, and as you can see, it is cooked, which is lovely. Two, because it means I can get the onions in between and a bit of the old mayonnaise on as well. And I do like a bit of mayonnaise, that's it. So now I can fold it in two and give it a go. But there you have it, a beef burger. It's kind of traditional British barbecue, but not, if you know what I mean. Barbecue with a little bit of a twist. Anyway, look, while Mrs. Dawn and that, did you bring my wine? Mm-hmm. Where is it? Well, thank you. She's brought my glass of wine. So while Mrs. Dawn, Mrs. Fatlad and I enjoy a standard British barbecue with standard British beef burgers, standard British sausages, which I'm here to tell you she can't keep my sausage out of her mouth at the moment. She seems to be enjoying that bit. Between that and the wine, she's a happy bunny. So if you've enjoyed this, if you've learned anything more than Dave's a daft bugger that messes about too much, please give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll catch you on the next one. In the meantime, stay safe, keep the charcoal burning right, and by the way, that alder is good stuff. It looks to be very good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Bye bye. Let's try the burger. Yes.